Welcome back to my office, where today I'm going to take my Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma RT mini Monstera, and I am going to propagate this. So I'm going to chop it up, I'm going to get some nodes out of it and propagate it. It's looking pretty sad. It's been over here on my other shelf, but it's just been kind of growing and like leaning, maybe in the not like the right way. I've been pretty bad about giving it like a little like pole or something like that to grow up on. And over time, some of the leaves have been kind of like dying off a little bit. I have it in like this fairly large pot here, but I'm watering it, but maybe not like the best. So I've decided, well, let's propagate ya. If you've seen my other series on my props and cuts, I do have in my propagation box, over here to like my right, I do have another small container of mini Monsteras that's also propagating and is doing fantastic. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to chop it up. I have little containers right here. I'm gonna put the chunks in. And I do have right here some sphagnum moss that I've kind of like pre-soaked a little bit. And without further ado, first off, it's Sunday. I'm going to relax with a nice little beer. Earlier today, just doing nothing, I've also got like a back spasm. So I was like, oh, I was down for the count for a little bit. But a little heat pack, my back's bothering me. Enjoying some plants with my beer should definitely help relax me. So, first off is gotta always clean your blade. And this is not the alcohol to drink, even though it's 70%. It's nice and tempting, but not the alcohol that you want to eat. I'm sorry, eat. I can't even talk. It's Sunday. To drink. So let's see here. Let me just scoot this plant back. And you always got to get a node when you're chopping up a plant here. So you're gonna find a few different things. Kind of face it towards me a little bit. I'm probably gonna chop it off at kind of like several locations. I'm gonna try to get as many as I can, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop this whole plant up, chop this whole sucker up. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna just kind of take this pot and repot my Monstera Addisoni that's back here, that's been thriving for another pot. So I'm gonna take everything out. So this is gonna be a massive propagation that I'm going to do here. So remember, when you're propagating, you cut in between the node. You definitely need a node for the plant to propagate. All right, so there's one. All right, just nice and one. We'll just continue. See, little small single ones at a time. So there's an aerial root. So once I kind of put it in the sphagnum moss, that aerial root's gonna kind of, hey, I got some moisture here, and I'm just gonna grow. The other thing I could have done, actually, I probably can, and I'm not sure if is I know whenever you kind of cut your leaves or your stems, a lot of people put like cinnamon to kind of do two things, kind of act like a little like natural fungicide, and also act as a kind of like root hormone, kind of like promote some growth too as well. In these longer sections that I have here of this mini Monstera, you don't need like, so I'll do like, for example here, so for like this one, right, you see between the node, it is about, I'd say about almost 3 inches long. you don't need the whole 3 inches like on here. So as you can tell, this one that I kind of cut up here, it's about 1.5 inches. So you can just kind of cut it back if you like, because this extra inch isn't going to do much, right? It's just focused on like the node. So for me, I like to at least kind of have about like 1 inch, from a 1/2 inch to 1 inch on each side of the node. We'll try that. It's kind of the way I've been cutting a lot of my my plants that I'll propagate. So from here, right, this one, there's no leaves here, but you can still propagate it right at the node. So you still want to keep that. So, right, so you're gonna have some that already has a leaf on there, and then you're gonna have some that don't have like a leaf. And that's okay, see? You'll have like this one kind of chunk right there. That'll also propagate. And when you're doing this, maybe not all of them will propagate. Sometimes it does take some time. So like for this one right here, this one has 2 nodes kind of close together. So I'm just going to kind of cut it on past the second one. So when I propagate it, it'll have just 2 nodes. Kind of help promote some growth there. See, so I have 2. I'm just gonna come back up here. In the end, I don't know how many nodes I'll have. But these are gonna grow, hopefully like wildfire. Or at least I'll have a lot of them. And what I'll plan to do is, my youngest son, he has a kind of like a fundraiser / plant sale coming up. So if I'm able to successfully propagate some of these, then I will sell them at his fundraiser, raise some money for this school. And then, as you know, a lot of schools, we're going back into session right now. So I know it's a tough situation. We don't want to, a lot of people are saying, oh, why go back so soon? We're not just there yet. I get it. And I'm sure there's a lot of parents too that are just like, oh, I just want to get my kids out of the house, right? We're on year 1. Let's see, I'm gonna cut this a little, I'll do 1 here. It is amazing how these plants just propagate. They are just awesome. I've definitely cut this one down pretty, as you saw, right? It was just flowing over here. Chop this sucker up. Yep, some will have 1 node, some will have 2. I think that's okay. And then once I get to this, this one over here. Now, look, all I'm left is with kind of like the stem right here, still salvageable. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just continually cut and get some nodes, because they may grow, may not, and that's okay. I told you I was gonna just chop this whole thing down. And I think what I'll do is, this looks like just 1. So I'm just gonna leave this. I'm gonna just leave this last one in here, because what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take it out of its pot, put it maybe in just a smaller pot, like just like a 6-inch, and just let it grow. This is an 8-inch pot. Obviously it's too big, but obviously I gotta check the roots down below. So I'm gonna replant this one kind of like afterwards. And then let's just focus right now on the nodes. Here we go. Cheers. Let's put this one aside. Oh, that's tough for me to bend down. Okay. Let's see how many do I have. I'll just kind of count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So yeah, 27. All right. This is going to be interesting. So how am I going to do this? Just think it's easy enough. Take a thin layer. I'm going to test 2 things out right now. It's going to be about this kind of space. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have all the nodes just be in one if I can. So what I'm going to try to do too, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to, these have aerial roots. For those that already have aerial roots, I definitely want them to be in decent contact with the sphagnum moss. So I'm going to make sure it's tucked in there. If there's some aerial roots, I'll just make sure that they are pointed downwards. So they're on the sphagnum moss, just to promote some growth. What I do know too is that this is a shallow kind of container that I'm using, and I think that's okay for right now, because I'm just looking to kind of promote some growth. So I'm just going to put it all right here into this tray. I have all of them, so that's great. Just set that aside. I have another larger container here. I'm going to fill this one up with a little bit more sphagnum moss. Because what I'm going to do also here is that I'm going to, let's see, take these little leaves. So these are all, I'm not going to have any like rhyme or reason how I'm going to put these in the prop box or prop container that I'm having right here. Just make sure that the aerial roots is kind of like facing down. I'll probably just start off with like these single leaves. Yep, some of these are going to stay to the side. Just going to have to fight for some space. Because I have noticed with, if you're watching my props and cuts series that I have over here, and maybe I'll bring it out too. So I had a box of mini Monsteras I'm also propagating. They're doing fantastic, but I think there was like 4 chunks in there, and I just let it just grow. And they are just intermixed. So let me actually just show you right now. I'll bring it out. So here's my container with, oh yeah, I mean, they're growing, they're doing a fantastic job. There are 1, 2, 3 in here. Looks like 3. But here's the problem. Look, I'm kind of tugging on it just to kind of like lift it up. I'll need to clean these up a little bit. But the roots are just super happy, right? So they're just growing all over the place. I'm gonna have to pot this up. I'm just ready to go. But the hard part is gonna be separating it from like the sphagnum moss. Right, look at that. I just kind of pulled it up. They're all in there. It's a great thing. It's a good problem to have, but all right, well, I think that's how I'm gonna have it. It's three containers, chunks, and a whole bunch of like leaves, and that's all she wrote. So Now I'm just gonna reorganize it in my prop box. Hopefully I got some space for it. If not, I got another container right behind me that I'll use. Just kind of keep it right over here on my shelf. Just let it sit back, relax, and just monitor it from week to week. You don't have to check it every day. It takes time. So I think these will grow a little bit faster than the others. And with that, we're all done. Thanks for watching. I'll add this to my props and cuts series, and we'll just continually watch this to grow. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye.